What was the worst birthday you ever had, and why? My ex announced her desire for a divorce on my 38th birthday party, in front of everyone I know. Harsh. She gave you a terrible birthday present. 18th. A massive earthquake decimated my country. I'm sorry to hear that. After recently going through a large earthquake, it is definitely major. Literally last year, my grandma passed on the day I was born, and now every time we'll be celebrating my birth, we'll also be mourning as my grandma was a really big part of my mom's life. We didn't do anything for my birthday last year, just blew it off. Pun intended. My 26th. Found out my son had leukemia a couple days before, and spent my actual birthday driving 500 miles to be with him in the hospital. Things are going better now, I hope. Yay, has been in remission for about 20 years now. 21 drinking age in the USA. My sister and her boyfriend took me out for drinks because my own boyfriend was ghosting me before a breakup. After we had finished at the bar they had no money. Happy birthday me. My 13th. I got a pair of sweetpants and a POD CD. I guess it wasn't as bad as I thought after reading others on here, haha. Hey, at least you got a POD CD out of it, lol. 42-year-old me would call getting sweatpants on my birthday a win. Walking home from the first day of school in 6th grade, realized it was my birthday. Family remembered about a week later. What did your family say about it? They laughed it off and told me not to be dramatic. My dad remembered though, and he had an ice cream cake waiting for me when I went to his house. Okay, that is good, and I think ice cream cake is the best type of cake. My 10th birthday in 1981. I got to sit in the front seat of the car. Since it was my birthday, mom rear-ended someone, and I went into the windshield. It ripped all the skin of my forehead. I can remember my older brother pulling off his sweaty flannel shirt and pressing it to my face while I screamed from the pain. I also spent my 18th birthday in the hospital with pleurisy. That was no fun either, but still not nearly as bad. My 18th birthday. It was during Holy Week. There were no celebrations and I asked for them to make a lasagna, but the lasagna had no meat because it wasn't allowed. No one greeted me because Jesus is dead and we must pay for our sins. Spent my 21st birthday attending a funeral for one of my buddies who had taken his own life days prior. It was rough and had me feeling a very complex set of emotions over the whole event. 1 year later, my 22nd birthday, my girlfriend's father died very unexpectedly. Death. It has no doubt changed the nature of our relationship. I have very seriously considered changing my birthday. Next month is my 23rd birthday and I feel a very distinct sense of dread. I was almost murdered. My girlfriend and I were mugged while walking to a friend's house down a bike path at night. 2 guys ran us down, and I ended up getting pistol whipped multiple times in the back of the head. They eventually got me on my knees and put the gun to my head and pulled the trigger. I didn't realize I had been shot at the time, but the bullet went through my shoulder and out the middle of my back. They left soon after. I can go into more detail in a bit, as I'm at work right now. I hope you didn't suffer any serious permanent damage. Also, I'd like to hear the story. My friends constantly pulled pranks on me, nobody else in middle school. 1 year they gave me all fake presents: toothpaste, half a puzzle, a light bulb. I just wanted 1 day off from the lying, pranking, and teasing. I went to the bathroom to cry, and they all said, oh come on, money was really tight this year, it was the economy. Then when I finally came out, gave me real presents, and laughed that I was crying over getting fake presents, and was so greedy for real ones. Happy 13th to me. I was thinking this one particular post-breakup day, but then I realized I hung out with my brother all day, and hung out at the beach, and ate seafood wasn't so bad. My 21st. I worked a 12-hour day, retail, alone. My mother called me at one point, not to wish me a happy birthday, but to complain that I hadn't paid my student loans. Like, I'm literally spending all day to attempt to pay, so back off. At least my friend remembered. He invited me out to the bar. I only had time for 1 drink, though, because I had to be back at work at 4 AM. Ever since then I take my birthday off every year. My 21st. was in college, and invited a few of my friends over to drink and then head out after. My fraternity brothers invited a ton of people I didn't know, drank all my beer before my friends came, and just trashed my room, which was the garage at the time. Didn't end up going out, didn't feel too great after that happened. 17th, my GF broke up with me 2 days prior for some BS. Dude, mine was about the same way, except she broke up with me 27 days beforehand. Wrecked my friend's car at 3:00 am. Cracked a vertebrae in my brother's neck. Got a $500 ticket, $1,000 insurance deductible, and got grounded for the rest of summer 2 months. Also, my friend's parents hated me for wrecking their car. My friend wasn't that upset. 21st. My dad and best friend really had died very suddenly a few weeks before. I'm very lucky though, have always had great birthdays before and after this. Even on my 21st, my family and friends rallied round and we tried to have a nice day. Last year, severely housebound, agoraphobic, I couldn't even walk outside with my toddler without having a panic attack. It was hard, but it led me to go get help. Doing better now. Birthday's coming up soon. Hope to eat at a restaurant with my family. My 40th. My daughter had to have her tonsils out, so I spent my last night of being 39 in a chair by her bed in hospital, and didn't sleep much. Spent all the next day, my 40th, feeling jaded. When we got home, my ex-husband hadn't even bought me a present. I had a similar reply. My wife acted like it was just another day. I guess it depends on the individual. When I was 5, I was having a little party with my fam and my older bro was helping me off the trampoline. I jumped onto his back and he fell down and I broke my arm. It was 7 am. I made it back for 7 pm and was in a cast for 1 year. For my 17th birthday, I invited friends and family over to have some cake and food to hang out. No one showed up. I'm still salty at this, and is one of the reasons why I dislike birthdays. My 3rd. I had chickenpox, and I was feeling too sick and itchy to even get up. My family tried to make it better, but I still was feeling miserable. The chickenpox was basically gone the next day. Of course, I don't actually remember this, but my mom told me when I asked her once. It was hardly bad considering some of the other posts here, but mine was 2 or 3 years ago. My cousin had her wedding on the day before my birthday, which is totally fine. However, my mother, who I was living with at the time, decided to have the bridal shower, or whatever, the day after the wedding at her house, and didn't tell me until the day before. So the day before my birthday, I found out they were having a party for someone else at my house on my birthday. The thing that bothered me the most about it was that I wasn't made aware of it until the day before. It's like my own mother didn't even consider me on the one day when it might actually matter to me. I'm sorry your mom did that. Did she ever figure out that she hurt your feelings with that action? I remember my cousin had his wedding on my birthday, sent out the invites months after my friends, and I had made plans and bought tickets for a festival I'd been dying to go to for years. He still barely speaks to me since I elected to not go to his wedding. Funny enough, he had chose not to come to my wedding years before, and I wasn't mad at him. Not my birthday, but my mom's last year. She was celebrating her 45th 3 days before. She gets a call and finds out her best friend for almost 20 years passed away of stomach cancer. She felt so guilty those days and cried. The funeral was held the day before her birthday, and on her birthday, she just felt tired, and she didn't really want to do anything. It was honestly sad. Her birthdays were always happy, and she had fun, but it's been the first time since she didn't feel that, and everyone else was just as sad as her, and she admits that it's been the worst surprise she's ever received before her birthday. My last birthday was pretty subpar. I wanted a pizza from a place we go to from time to time. I was told no cause my older brother has an activity to go to, and it wouldn't be fair for him to miss it. I got a cake, but I didn't even get to blow out candles. My parents did way more for Mother's Day, which was a few days later. My 24th. I had moved to a new place 9 to 10 months prior, so I spent the whole thing completely alone. No friends, no family, just me. The few friends in town I had were either busy or forgot it was my birthday, despite my telling them. I did get 2 cakes to myself, but one of them ended up covered in mold after a day. I'm making plans with friends for my 25th, but I don't think they realize it's my birthday. When I turned 13, despite not celebrating at all, my parents were working and all that, and I had to go to my volleyball practice alone. On my way there, a dog from a house a few blocks from mine jumped the fence and bit my thigh. I just left bleeding, and when my parents came home we had to go to the police and do many other things in order to sue them, without me wanting to do so OFC, and just waste my birthday at the hospital waiting for some paperwork. It was either my 6th or 7th birthday. My party was going to be starting in an hour or so, but I asked my parents if I could take my dog Small Schnauzer for a walk a couple houses down and back. They said it was alright, it was a small safe neighborhood. As I got closer to a neighbor's house, I could see a huge husky barking behind the fence looking aggressive. I decided to turn back, but the neighbor's dog hopped the fence and attacked mine. I ran back home screaming a wolf ate Ashley, and my parents ran back out to see the carnage. Rushed my dog to an emergency vet, but died shortly after. I stayed home and didn't enjoy my party very much. Last year's birthday, my 21st. For obvious reasons I decided to go out with a boyfriend to get dinner and drinks. My sister threw the biggest fit to my parents once I told her she couldn't come since she's a minor and I'm not about to babysit her on my birthday. She went to my parents saying I'm being so selfish because we always eat birthday meals together, and she was upset we weren't carrying on the tradition, etc. It really stressed me out and ruined my birthday. Keep in mind that my parents had no problem watching my daughter, so I could have a night off for my birthday. TBH, my past 3 birthdays have been boring. 2 years ago I just sat at home all day, and then later on we went to a restaurant that I didn't pick with my mom's old friend and her daughter. To be fair, we did know them, but like it was boring. I barely talked, and I just hated it. Either the one I spent alone in the family house as the rest of my family lived in another state for a year, or the one where I had a freshly broken nose and my so tried a suicide attempt on my kitchen floor. Lol. Today's my birthday too. I'm in bed. Happy birthday. This too shall pass. The worst was my 9th birthday. My older half-sister and her certifiable ex-husband were in a marital dispute, so she came to stay with my mom and me. The husband found out she was with us, parked his car in front of our apartment, leaving a big piece of cardboard that he'd written all sorts of nasty things on inside of the car, covering the entire front windshield. The car stayed there the whole day and into the next afternoon for all of our neighbors to see. We did eventually drape some towels over the window, though, and then I ended up baking my own cake too. Was a weird day for a 9-year-old. 21st day, got blackout the night before. Woke up really hungover and all my friends wanted to go to the springs. I was down. None of them have cars, so I ended up driving. Car ends up breaking down on the drive there because of the loose skid plate I had, thanks to my armadillo friend. Broke in the wind of driving on the highway and ended up doing $2,000 worth of damage to my car, none of which my insurance covered. Safe to say I was happy with that day. My 5th birthday, my mom was in the hospital and we were getting ready for her to die. What makes it worse is that my mom and I share a birthday. She ended up not dying, and we will be 19 and 48 this year. I was her 29th birthday present. My birthday falls between 2 holidays. Every year I see if more actual people wish me a happy day, or if more corporations wish me a happy day. Corporations win almost every year. I don't remember which one was, but none of my friends showed up, and my best friend didn't go because I went to buy a video game console and wanted to spend the day playing games. January 12, 2016. Possibly one of the worst days of my life. My whole family had a massive fallout at my auntie's wedding in September 2015, so on Christmas and on my birthday I didn't get to see any of my family except from my mum, dad, sister and now past granddad. My 15th birthday. Parents forgot about it. I didn't wish for much, just to spend some time with my family. My mom started crying because she had bought me like one present, which was totally fine with me, but she thought she was a horrible mother. Had to take care of her. Poor thing. When I was 16, I was supposed to go out on a date with a girl named Julie, but there was another Michael in the class that she apparently thought the date was with, so she went out with him on my birthday. And she got him a cake at the restaurant. and it wasn't even his birthday, but I heard about it the next day in school. So, that was the worst birthday I think I ever had. On my worst birthday, I had this idiot playing Billy Joel on a recorder for me, even though it's on the radio. Nobody even signed my birthday poster. Probably my mother was the only one that cared enough to send me anything.